I hope you can see my board. Fatma, is it?
Yes, miss.
All right, we are going to start kinematics. So, Fatma, what is kinematics? As you have studied in physics, kinematics is a branch of physics which deals with the motion of objects. Okay, here we don't need the definition, but the purpose is that because I'm recording this video for the YouTube as well. So, if there is a student who does not know anything about physics, so he has to deal with math as well. That's why he would get to know about kinematics. Okay, so basically in kinematics we are gonna discuss the motion of objects. Okay, so whenever we are going to discuss motion, so you can see that we have to discuss few parameters. Okay, one is distance, because whenever a body moves, it covers some distance, isn't it, Fatma? And
Yes,
another one
miss.
is speed, like the body or object moves with some speed. Okay, either it's fast or it's slow. And then there is one acceleration. So in physics, you have read that if you change your distance, isn't it, Fatma? If you cover some distance, like if you cover some path, then we call it as distance, isn't it?
Yes, miss.
Path covered by a body is called distance. Okay. Same way, we are gonna discuss these things as well. Distance is basically path covered by a body, and velocity. What is speed? Speed is basically change in distance, isn't it, Padma?
Yes, miss.
Change in distance. And what about acceleration?
Acceleration is change in velocity per unit time.
Okay, change in velocity per unit time. It is change in velocity. Okay, this triangle shows that change in velocity. Okay, it shows change in velocity. Okay, now we know that speed sometime increases and sometime it decreases. Is it so? Same way, acceleration is sometime positive. Acceleration increase when a body is moving faster. So speed increases when a body is moving faster, and speed decreases when body is slowing down. Isn't it, Fatma? When
Yes, miss.
our body slows down, then we say that our speed is decreasing. Okay, so Fatma, as you know that when our speed increases, so we use a term for acceleration. Which term do we use? Can you tell that?
Acceleration increases.
Yes, when speed increase, then acceleration is positive and we called it acceleration. But when speed is decreasing, we call it
Deceleration
deceleration.
and
Deceleration.
retardation.
Deceleration or retardation. Is it clear, Fatma?
Yes, miss.
Okay, now we are going to talk about their units, because their units conversion is going to come. Okay, Fatma. So their units are, first let's talk about its unit. The units with which it is being mentioned is millimeter. Sometimes you can say that our distance is in millimeter, or sometimes it used to be represented as centimeter or meter or kilometer. Okay, these are the major units which you can see. And for this case, the units are centimeter per second, meter per second, or kilometer per second. Per hour, sorry, kilometer per hour. Okay. Its SI unit is basically meter per second, or this is one, or meter slash second. You can represent it as with both ways. Same way for acceleration, units is gonna remain same, which is meter per second square or meter slash second square. Is it clear, Fatma?
Yes, miss.
Okay, we are going to discuss some conversions now, because as you see that sometimes they says that convert this unit into other, then we have to get to know that how to do this conversion. Okay, I'm going to let you know about the conversions now. Okay, first we are going to discuss conversions for distance. Okay, so conversions, conversions. These are basically unit conversions. Okay, if we want to move from millimeter to centimeter, you know that 1 millimeter is equal to 10 centimeter.
10
Is it, Fatma?
centimeter. Yes,
Okay.
miss.
I'm going to write first the conversion rates, then I will tell you how to convert them. 1 millimeter is equal to 10 centimeters. Same way, 1 centimeter is equal to 100
100
meters.
meters.
Then 1 meter is equal to
1000 kilometers.
1000. 1 kilometer, this is 1 kilometer, is equal to 1000 meters. Okay. These are the conversion, basic conversions, which with which you have to use and start converting. Okay, I'm going to tell you a rule now. If we want to move from millimeter to centimeter, then what are you going to do? If you want to move from here to here, then simply multiply with 10. Or if you want to move from millimeter to centimeter, then divide it with 10. Okay, from
Yes, miss.
larger to smaller, you have to divide, and from smaller to larger, you have to multiply. Is it clear, Fatma? Same
Yes,
way,
miss.
if you want to move from centimeter to meters, what are you going to do? You are going to multiply with 100, and from meter to centimeter, what are you going to do? You are going to divide with 100. Clear, Fatma?
Yes, miss.
Now, if you are going to move from kilometer to meter, you are going to multiply with 1000. And if you want to move from meter to kilometer, you are going to divide with 1000. Talking about if we want to move from kilometer to meter, then we have to simply multiply. Okay, since like this, 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meter. If I want to move from kilometer to meter, and then I have to multiply with 1000. If I want to move from meter to kilometer, simply I have to divide with 1000. Is it clear, Fatma? Now,
Yes,
let's
miss.
move forward for the, what do we say that? For velocity, okay, or speed. We are going to find the conversion rate for that. So conversion, okay, sometimes you see that this is that convert meter per second to kilometer per hour. Kilometer per hour. As you can see that 1 meter is equal to 1000. 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meters. ऐसे ही है ना फातिमा? And same way,
Yes, miss.
1 hour is equal to 3600 seconds. So if same ways, Fatma, same procedure. If we want to move from meter to kilometer, what are we gonna do? As we have discussed over here, from meter to kilometer, simply we have to divide with 1000. Okay, this is one way. Another way is that what are you gonna do? First thing is that you are gonna write. Padma, I'm going to tell you another way. If you will find it difficult, then let me know that. I will guide you an alternative. Okay. So meter per second, I'm going to write in this way, because per means I can write this in the denominator form. Now, you can see that I have to convert this into kilometer. Okay. Meter is going to convert into kilometer. Like I have to make this form, kilometer per hour. So how can I move from here to here? Okay, Fatma, see. ये फ्रैक्शन ओवर फ्रैक्शन बन जाएगी किलोमीटर ओवर 1000। ये आवर्स, अब देखो ना, फ्रैक्शन और फ्रैक्शन, इसने यहाँ पे आ जाना है और इसने ऊपर चले जाना है नोमिनेटर के पास, ठीक है। 1000 आवर्स टाइम 3600, so it will become as 3600 kilometer over 1000 hours. Fatma, now let me know that if this method is hard, then I can explain alternative.
मिस इसका
Okay,
ऑल्टरनेटिव भी
okay,
बता दें।
okay, मैं alternative बता रही हूँ। Alternative. So its alternative is, if you want to move from meter per second to kilometer per hour, simply what are you gonna do? You are gonna multiply with 3600 and divide it by 1000. One moment, Fatma. So if we want to move from meter per second, okay, I'm gonna make a this pattern for you. From meter per second to kilometer per hour, multiply with 3600 and divide with 1000. Reverse the pattern. If you want to move from kilometer per hour to meter per second, you have to multiply with 1000 and divide with 3600. You have to follow that pattern, whatever comes, okay? I think that this might be more easier for you, isn't it?
यस मिस।
Okay, so you need to remember that map, okay? Meter per second to kilometer per hour, multiply by 3600 and divided by 1000. And if you want to move from kilometer per hour to meter per second, you have to multiply with 1000 and divide with 3600. In this way, you can do your conversion very easy. Okay, suppose that they say that convert 56 meter per second into kilometer per hour. What are you going to do, Fatma? You
मिस
are having 56, you want to move from meter per second.
36
Yes, multiply with 3600 and
डिवाइड बाय
divide it
1000।
by 1000. It will be kilometer per hour. Clear?
यस मिस।
Okay, I'm going to move forward. Now, we are going to discuss about some cases, like the kind of questions which are going to come. Okay. Acha. Fatma, there is one more thing which I need to explain. I'm going to tell you the formulae of these. Just give me a moment. I just don't need to write this, okay? I have done this only for your convenience. Now I'm going to tell you about their formulae. Okay, Fatma, what was the formula for acceleration? As you know, in physics, we write acceleration is equal to change in velocity, change in
ओवर चेंज इन
velocity
टाइम।
over time. Okay, so change in velocity means that Vf minus Vi over t, or sometimes you write it as V minus U over t. Isn't it, Fatma?
यस मिस।
So this is change in velocity. And for acceleration, sorry, for speed, what do you write?
टोटल
For
डिस्टेंस ओवर
speed,
टाइम।
you write distance over time. Is it so?
Yes, miss.
And same way for distance. For distance, you simply use path covered by a body. Okay, you don't use any formula for that. Okay, so these are the basic formulae which you use. Basically, speed formula and distance formula. Okay, you basically use these two formulae. One is speed and one is acceleration. Okay, now I'm gonna tell you that if a graph is given, then you are not gonna use these formulae. These two formulae. You will not use these formulae if graph will be given. Like you have to find answers from graph, then you are not allowed to use this formula and this formula. You won't be using it. Neither this nor that. Is it clear, Fatma?
Yes, miss.
Because we are solving kinematics according to maths, not according to physics. Okay, so what are we going to do? We don't have to use these formulae if graph is given. When graph is not given, then you are allowed to use. But when graph is mentioned, like he mentioned the graph, then you won't be using this formula. Is it clear or not?
Yes, miss.
Okay. Now if this kind of question is coming here, then what are we going to do? It says that the speed time graph shows the information about train journey. Okay. Last time I told you about a conversion factor. Like if speed is given, like I told you about a few processes. One was if there is a speed time graph. Speed time graph, what are you gonna do? You can calculate acceleration by taking gradient.
Gradient.
Acceleration
Yes.
will be obtained by taking gradient by gradient. And how can we calculate distance? Distance was supposed to be calculated
Area
by
under the graph.
taking area under the curve. Area under the curve gives us distance. Gives us distance. Is it, Fatma?
Yes, miss.
Okay. These are the two things which we have discussed last time. Okay. So same way, if it means that I can make a short form like distance, speed, and acceleration. I'm going to make you a map for that. If I want to move from distance to speed, then I have to take gradient, isn't it?
Yes, miss.
Same way from speed time graph to acceleration, I have to take same gradient. But when I have to move backward from acceleration to speed or from speed to distance, what am I going to do? I'm going to take area under the curve. Okay. Whenever you see a graph, you have to make this map instantly, either in your mind or at the side of your paper. Okay. So area under the curve. Is it clear, Fatma? Now look,
Yes, miss.
it is a speed time graph. It means that I'm instantly gonna make DSA. Okay, so it says that the graph shows information about the train journey by drawing a suitable tangent to the curve. Estimates the gradient of the curve at t equals to 24. सबसे पहली बात, Fatma, at start you have to mention that it says that by drawing a suitable tangent to the curve, estimate the gradient of the curve at t equals to 24. Okay, I'm gonna after this question or before that question, let me tell you about Fatma. Just give me a moment. Let me tell you about the two cases. How can they ask the question for that, and how do we solve it? There are few cases. Case one, case one. Case one is that when suppose that it is a speed time graph and this is distance is 300 or 350 meters, and find time for it. Basically, this shows that, Fatma, this shows that from speed time graph, they have given you distance and they ask you to find time. So how to do that? That is what I'm going to tell. Okay. So how can we do that? I'm going to quickly draw the graph. Suppose that this is my graph one here and another one is here. And my curve was speed time graph. And suppose that it is going to start, it was accelerating from here to here, then it reached to some point there. Okay, now it says this was our speed. Suppose that it is 20 because it is speed time graph, or I can directly write it as S, okay, which is in meter per second. Fatma, is it clear? And here
Yes,
it
miss.
says that this one is 0. There is a some point which I can say, okay, this one. At this point, it was, suppose at 5 seconds because time is over here in seconds. And now it says that the distance is 350 meter and find where the distance is 350 meter. Now we need to calculate the time for it. Okay. So Fatma, how are we going to do that? We are not having any value of the time because this is our speed time graph. But one thing is that I'm quickly gonna draw my this way DSA rule. According to DSA rule, I get to know that if I'm having a speed time graph and I want to calculate distance, because first I need to calculate distance. Then what would I be doing? I would take a I have to move backward. To move backward, I have to take area under the curve. Isn't it, Fatma?
Yes, miss.
Okay, so quickly I will take area under the curve. Now to take area under the curve, what will I be doing? I will simply convert this into shapes. Now I'm considering this like there is time t somewhere here. T is somewhere here. And this t, I'm gonna close this into a shape and it will make a rectangle. Rectangle and a triangle. Okay. I'm not gonna use the formula of trapezium because I have to find the distance of this shape first because I have to subtract this from this shape because it says that find the time for it when the distance is 350 meter and I don't know the time. What time is it? I just have drawn this line randomly so that I can get to know that. Let's say that I'm calling this as X or T. Okay, you can call this as T or X, whatever you want to say. Okay, I have called this as X. So I need to calculate that time, which is X. So what will I do? First, I will try to calculate the area for this one because I know this area. I have everything for that. So area for this shape will be area of right angle triangle. Right angle triangle is going to be half base into height. Base
Yes,
is 5 times
miss.
height is 20. So simplify them to tens are 10 fives are 50. It means that 5 tens are 50. So area for my this one is 50 meters. But he says that find the distance when time is 350 meter. It means that I will subtract this distance from this and then remaining one will be the distance for this rectangle. Okay. ये बात समझ आई है क्योंकि टोटल डिस्टेंस अगर 350 था तो उसमें से मैंने 50 माइनस कर दिया बाकी रिमेनिंग मेरे पास रेक्टेंगल ही आ गई ना ठीक है अब मैं क्या करूंगी रिमेनिंग डिस्टेंस क्या आ जाएगा 350 यानी ये रिमेनिंग डिस्टेंस जो होगा ये मेरे पास रेक्टेंगल का डिस्टेंस होगा रेक्टेंगल का एरिया अंडर द कर्व लाइक उसके लिए जो डिस्टेंस होगा 350 माइनस 50 ये इक्वल हो जाएगा 300 के अब देखो अब ये बात मुझे बता रही है कि मेरे पास एरिया इसका आ गया है 300 मीटर्स ठीक है अब इसका मेरे पास एरिया मौजूद है अब मैं इसको फिगर आउट करने की कोशिश करती हूँ तो देखो अब इसके लिए मेरे पास रेक्टेंगल का एरिया ऑफ रेक्टेंगल, ये हमें डिस्टेंस देता है ना स्पीड टाइम ग्राफ में, लेंथ टाइम ब्रेथ हो जाएगा। और लेंथ क्या है मेरे पास, यहाँ पे है मेरे पास x-5, लाइक ये टोटल लेंथ, ये मेरे पास x-5 हो जाएगी ना, x-5 हो जाएगी और ये ऊपर हो जाएगा 20। तो ये है x-5 टाइम्स 20, और एरिया मेरे पास ये गिवन था 300 मीटर्स। अब
Yes,
मुझे बताओ
miss.
ये बात समझ आई आपको? अब मैं इसको सिंप्लीफाई कर रही हूँ, 300 इक्वल्स हो जाएगा, मैं ब्रैकेट ओपन कर रही हूँ, 20x-25 100 होता है 100। Simply take this on the other side, 300x, it's gonna be 400 over 20 equals to x. So it will be 20, Fatma, is
Yes,
it
miss.
gonna be?
Yes,
So
miss.
22nd is our x. In this way, we have calculated our value for x. Is it clear, Fatma?
Yes, miss.
Okay, so we have covered this till here, isn't it?
Yes, miss.
Now we are going to discuss case 2, and case 2 says that case 2 says if we are having a speed time graph, same way, okay? Speed time graph is given and they want us to calculate time, okay? And find time for the given segment. Suppose that okay, Fatma, suppose it is given over here as 20 and this one is 0 and this one is 5. Okay, now it says that calculate this velocity. Okay, this v or s, it is a speed time graph, same way, meter per second, and this one is time. Is it clear, Fatma? Now it says that calculate this value. So Fatma, how to do that? We have nothing, so how can we do that? What are we gonna do? We are gonna take their coordinates. Okay, we are gonna take, okay, in case 2, if this kind of question comes, then what do you have to do? You have to try some rule. Okay, there is a rule for it. Rule is consider 3 coordinates. Consider 3 coordinates and one is 0 0, like according to this condition, I'm gonna take one is 0 0 and other one is gonna be 0 20, and third one is gonna be, third point is gonna tell you. In this way, in this way we will be able to calculate our unknown. Is it clear, Fatma? We are going to consider another example, but rule is going to be same. Okay, we have considered this one,
Yes, miss.
but the vertical line gives you an infinite gradient, so we don't have to choose this example. Okay, we are going to choose another one. We are going to move to the questions, and here there will be an example for it. Okay, and we will solve it. So let's focus on this one. As you can see that we were doing it. So over here it says, by drawing a suitable tangent to the graph, estimate the gradient of the curve at t equals to 24. Fatma, first take a look at this. This box is like 10 boxes are equal to 5. Okay. When 10 boxes are equal to 5, we are going to make a scale for that. Scale for horizontal axis. Scale for x-axis. 5 boxes, like 10 boxes are equal to 5. 10 boxes is going to equal to 5/10. Is it,
Yes.
Fatma? Now it says that find the value for t equals to 24. So we are going to see each box is of 0.5. So our value, like our 24, is going to stick here. Here will be my 24.5 and 0.5. I'm going to go back and this is going to give me the value of 24. Fatma, is it clear?
Yes, miss.
Okay. So Fatma, how to do this tangent? Like how to calculate the values for that tangent? Simply, we are going to
Miss, हम
consider,
लास्ट में लिख लेते हैं
sorry,
टेंजेंट को एक्सटेंड करते हैं उनके जो सारे
exactly,
पार्ट जो वैल्यूज आती हैं उसको लिखते हैं।
exactly. ठीक है, मैं इसको ना जरा ठीक करके बना देती हूँ, थोड़ा सा हम इसको एक्सटेंड भी कर लें। ठीक है, वी आर गोना एक्सटेंड दिस। एक्चुअली पहले एक पॉइंट ड्रॉ कर लेते हैं, इसके साथ हम एक पॉइंट ड्रॉ करते हैं। द पॉइंट इज समवेयर दिस वन। ओके, दिस इज द पॉइंट फॉर द टेंजेंट। ठीक है, ये पॉइंट हम जरा थोड़ा सा डॉट में ड्रॉ करते हैं। बाद में ये पॉइंट है हमारे पास हेयर। ठीक है, ये है हमारा टेंजेंट का पॉइंट। अब मैं यहाँ से एक टेंजेंट की लाइन ड्रॉ करने लगी हूँ और मैं थोड़ा सा एक्सटेंडेड लाइन ड्रॉ करूंगी। ठीक है, ठीक है फातिमा, मैंने इसको इस तरह से एक्सटेंड कर दिया। ठीक हो गया? इज इट क्लियर फातिमा?
यस मिस।
ये थोड़ा सा इसको ना आपने इग्नोर करना है, ये एरर को। ठीक है, हाँ, क्योंकि हम ये इसको जरा वर्चुअली ड्रॉ कर रहे हैं, जिसकी वजह से ये थोड़ा सा मसला कर रही है। अब देखो मैंने इसको ऐसे इधर मिक्स कर वो कर लिया है, क्योंकि हमें टू कोऑर्डिनेट्स चाहिए। कोऑर्डिनेट्स लेने के लिए हम यहाँ पे जाहिर है कुछ इसकी मार्किंग करेंगे। अब यहाँ पे देखो, ये मेरे पास कोऑर्डिनेट क्या आ जाएगा। ये है फातिमा हमारे में, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया था कि 0.5 का एक बॉक्स है, तो 21, 22 एंड 22.5। एक्स आपका हो जाएगा 22.5। एक्स इज 22.5। 22.5 is your x and y is at sharp 2. Okay, this is your first coordinate. Now let's talk about the second coordinate. Our second coordinate would be here, और ये second coordinate क्या बन रहा है मेरे पास? ये है 1, तो ये 28 है। ठीक है, x आपका है 28, 28 और y है आपका यहाँ पे 0। ठीक हो गया फातिमा? ये बात समझ आई है?
यस मिस। बट मिस मैं
जी बोलो।
ना से आना है तो फिर मैं आके मेरे स्कूल जाना भी।
अच्छा ठीक है, ओके, बस ये हम वाइंड अप कर लें। ठीक है, ये मैं लास्ट क्वेश्चन करवा लूँ आपको। ठीक है, देन वी आर गोना वाइंड दिस अप।
ओके मिस।
Okay, we are gonna do like we are gonna find gradient now. So gradient is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1.
यस।
ऐसा ही है फातिमा? So y2 is 0 minus 0 minus 2 over 28 minus 22.5. So it is minus 2 over, Fatma, what is 28 minus 22.5? We have calculated right now. Minus 22.5. It is 5.5. Okay. So 2 over 5.5, it would be 0.36. So our gradient is 0.36 minus 0.36. Okay. So Fatma, whenever we say that minus 0.36, it would be our deceleration or
यस
retardation.
मिस।
Okay. अगर वो आपको ये कहता है कि आप इसका एक्सेलरेशन, इसमें ना एक्चुअली इस टाइप का क्वेश्चन एक और आएगा हमें, मैं उसमें भी आपको एक्सप्लेन करूंगी। अगर आपने इसको एज वो आपसे कहता है कि रिटार्डेशन शो करें, देन यू विल बी शोइंग दैट रिटार्डेशन इज इक्वल टू 0.36। यू विल नॉट, नरेशन के लिए भी आपने माइनस नहीं चूज करना। ठीक है, इक्वल्स टू 0.36। हाँ, लेकिन अगर वो कहते हैं नेगेटिव ऑफ एक्सेलरेशन, सो एक्सेलरेशन इज इक्वल टू, तो एक्सेलरेशन विल बी माइनस 0.36। इज इट क्लियर फातिमा?
Yes, miss.
ठीक है, सो वी आर गोना वाइंड अप आवर क्लास ओवर हियर। सी यू इंशाल्लाह नेक्स्ट टाइम। अल्लाह हाफिज।